Guys, Karusop here, coming in with my very first One Piece theory discussion video. So today what I'm planning on talking about is the Big Mom Pirates and really what is going on with all the different races of the Big Mom Pirates, what kind of goal did Big Mom have in mind, and some of the stuff about the discrimination within the Big Mom Pirates, and also why Big Mom is so interested in Germa. So anyway, let's get into it. So there are a variety of races on Totland, but not only on Totland, there's also a variety within the Big Mom children. So for instance, we've got Smoothie, Citron, and Cinnamon, and they're from the Longleg tribe. And we have the two twins, Marscapone and Jarscapone, from the Snake Nest tribe. And we also have Mukuru from the Longarm tribe, and Opera and his brothers. They seem to be in their own kind of One Piece race, even though we haven't really heard of what exactly it is. So I guess the question I want to pose first is, why is there so much diversity amongst the Big Mom children? And then another question that I want to try to address is why Katakuri and Pudding in particular are actually facing discrimination within the Big Mom children, even though there's so much diversity growing up in that environment. The other thing that I want to talk about is, why is Big Mom so interested in getting a hold of Germa's military? So I want to start off by delving into Big Mom's past. So when Big Mom was a little girl, she first tried to she wanted to make things better. And she thought that she was being kind, but she was really kind of attacking some of the other races. So she tried to rip a fin off a fishman to normalize him. And she also tried to break the arms of one of the Longarm tribe to make them have the normal amount of joints in their arms. So Mother Caramel saw that, I guess, that Big Mom had a good heart with doing these kind of horrific actions in mind. Even though they were kind of messed up, she knew that Big Mom wasn't the smartest, at least as a little kid, and probably as a grown-up too. Let's be real, guys. But anyway, Mother Caramel said that her dream is for all the races to see eye to eye, right? And Big Mom misinterpreted this in thinking that, everybody is going to be the same height at one table, literally seeing at eye line of each other. But she still now has a greater appreciation of, racial diversity within a place or the One Piece world. So now I want to talk about Big Mom's very own children. So it seems like she started giving birth around the age of 18, and let's face it, as creepy as it may be, the first dad, the father of Perisparrow, was probably Streusen. And after that came Katakuri and Oven and Daifuku, and then a bunch of other different children. So based on the diversity that we see within the Big Mom pirate crew, it seems like Big Mom might actually be seeking out husbands for their biological traits or maybe their political influence. And then we saw with Pound that Big Mom just kind of discarded him after the children were born. She wouldn't even let him see Lola or Chiffon, really. She just, banished him out into the woods, and then he's chilling there in the seducing woods for many years. So these children who are growing up in this naturally diverse environment would really learn not to pick on people of other races, especially because there are people from a lot of races who aren't on the Big Mom pirate crew, just coming to Totland to live in this kind of peaceful and accepting environment, even though it costs them a little bit of lifespan. So the first person I want to talk about is Katakuri. And as you see from his flashback and the way that Flambe reacted to him, people really are disgusted by like his wide mouth and his pointy teeth. And it doesn't really make sense, right? It's like there's all this diversity on Wholecake. Why would you make something, make fun of somebody for something so benign, right? But the thing is that Katakuri is one of 3 triplets, as I mentioned earlier in this video. And you know what? Oven and Daifuku, neither of those 2 brothers have a mouth like this. So what I think that this means is that Katakuri's mouth is actually a genetic mutation. Yeah, maybe in his lineage somewhere far back there was a fishman, right? And this particular trait was only passed on to Katakuri or something like that. Anyway, I believe it's a mutation. And if Big Mom is actually targeting husbands for the purpose of breeding specific races into her pirate crew, then what would be more problematic based on what she wants to do than actually having mutations in these children that she's trying to selectively breed for certain traits? And who knows, Katakuri has the stitches here. Maybe Big Mom was even the one who stitched up Katakuri's mouth. I believe that she's definitely, and her influence on the family is definitely the reason why he walks around with a scarf on all the time. So, yeah, that's just my thoughts on that matter. Now I want to get to the second child that we've seen getting picked on in flashbacks, which is Pudding. So, Pudding is said to come from the Third Eye tribe, which has the ability of reading poneglyphs. So the only 2 ways in the story before Pudding that we knew about how you could do this is through actually studying and learning how to read these poneglyphs, like the Scholars of Ohara, or you had to actually be able to hear the voice of all things. So it's kind of surprising that, you know, this 3-eyed tribe would just come out of nowhere, right? And then, even though she's so important, we see in her flashback that children are making fun of her, they're scared of her, and she's just becoming extremely savage, you know, threatening children with a knife in order to try and scare them off. So, here is a theory, right? What if there never really was a Third Eye tribe? What if Pudding has just intimidated her brothers and sisters so much, and then finally using her Memo fruit, she embedded the idea of a Third Eye tribe into Big Mom's memory. So she's like, oh yeah, Pudding's important. She's not just a genetic mutation. She has this power. I have to treat her right. But she's still in the back of her mind is like, yeah, this is kind of weird and disgusting. But yeah, I think that there's a large possibility that's actually what's going on with Pudding, because she hasn't awakened these quote-unquote powers yet. And it would make sense that she's intimidated her brothers and sisters so much, and that, you know, she has this devil fruit anyway that can manipulate their memory, so maybe she could also tamper with their memory as well. So basically, getting back to what I have to say about the Germa is essentially using science to splice genes to make a stronger army and finding a way to make, you know, super soldiers that can grow into 20-year-old men in 5 years. So essentially, they're kind of messing with genetics in a purely scientific way, whereas Big Mom's doing it in a natural way. So of course, Big Mom would have a lot of interest in this, you know, being that they have another method to kind of get towards the strength and diversity that she wants in her crew. So yeah, I just want to summarize and kind of put forth my theories. So Big Mom has kind of been selectively choosing husbands to have kids with so that they can have a large diversity of traits that would be helpful for her and her pirate crew. And the thing is that she's very unaccepting of genetic mutations, because to her this is counterproductive to her goal of building up this strong and diverse pirate crew. So how I think this is going to play into the story is, I think that by the end of Wholecake, Katakuri and Pudding are going to restructure the whole island and Big Mom crew and their way of thinking. Katakuri is just going to say, like, look, I mean, there are a ton of people coming from various races on Fishman Island, and that's great, but you need to be accepting of the people that have, you know, certain genetic mutations and kind of like birth defects as well, because, you know, they're just as valuable to the Big Mom crew. There's nothing really wrong with them. So, you know, why are people picking on them like this? It just isn't fair. And I think that, you know, maybe at first people will be freaked out like Flambe, but Flambe is really shallow, you know. I think that Katakuri has the strength and leadership along with Pudding, so that they'll actually influence the Big Mom pirate crew, and they'll change their ways of, you know, treating these children / people with genetic abnormalities. Anyway, this is Krusop here. I think I got everything out that I'd like to say. So, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, and comment. And I'll see you next time. Krusop is peace in it.